everyone, and welcome to my first reading vlog. Full transparency, this is just a way for me to give myself some accountability because I have a slightly longer than usual TBR for this month, and two of the books that are on my TBR I got from the library, so there's a deadline on them, and because of that I don't really have the privilege of just not reading the things on my TBR, because usually, because I'm a mood reader, I hop from one book to the other, and sometimes I even go outside of my TBR and read something else that just seems more fun in the moment. But this month, especially for those two books, I don't really have a choice, and one of them is Margot's Got Money Trouble, which is this one. Margot's Got Money Trouble. I got it from the library because I heard really great things about it, but at the time when I heard about it, I had already hit my book buying quota for the month, so I just went to the library and picked up a copy. But if I like it as much as I think I'm going to, based on the reviews I've been reading, I may just get myself my own copy. But yes, so I'm going to be reading it and listening to it at the same time, so that is going to be fun. And because it's so bright out, it's so sunny out, we're going to go read at the park. I'm going to take you with me. I'm trying something new. I haven't done a reading vlog before. It's a slightly different format than I'm used to, but I have little things outlined for what we're going to do. By the next couple of days, I'm going to go into New York City, to Brooklyn, to check out Liz's book bar. I've been hearing so many things about it. I had 3 people at this point now send the location to me in my DM, people who don't read but know I read, and I always find that so sweet when someone who's not interested in something sees something and they send it to you, they DM you. It's like our new age way of saying I was thinking about you, or I saw this thing and I was thinking about you. So yes, I'm going to go check that out in a couple of days, and maybe a book haul of some of the things that I've gotten in the past week. I had some things in my cart on thrift books and a couple of other things. Most of them are memoirs actually, but those are going to be delivered today or tomorrow, so yes, we could do a book haul too. But right now I'm going to head out to the park and we'll see how the day goes. I hope I make really good progress on this book today. I haven't even started, so I'm really hoping that it's one of those things that will grip me as soon as I start reading it,
This is a good a day as any to start the rebuilding of life. The roads that lay open are many when the old one's gone under the knife. And I can feel the sun on my skin, beginning to thaw from within. Today and not tomorrow, there's no time to buy.
I am about a quarter ways through Margot's Got Money Trouble, and that's because it's a pretty quick read. It goes by really fast, and it is also really funny. It's a really engaging book. It grips you right from the start. It's so good. And also the audiobook is being read by Elle Fanning, and she's doing just an amazing job. There are even some parts where some of the characters are making jokes and saying funny things in different accents, and she's doing a fantastic job of switching from reading in both first person from Margot's point of view to third person, and in third person doing all the imitations that the characters are doing in German, Irish accents, or whatever pops up. It's a really fun read. I'm glad I'm doing the two together. That is still a relatively new way of reading for me, because I've typically done one or the other, audiobook separately and then the physical copy, but it's so much fun. This is a really fun way that I don't think is sustainable, because I won't always have the audiobook version of every physical copy that I have. I don't think I can do this all the time, but I think for some books it is worth it. It's not bad. But I will say about the titular character Margot, not a very good decision maker. not a very good decision maker. And the part in the book that I've gotten to, I don't quite know her well enough to know what her motivations are. So I'm still kind of seeing things unfold. But she's also written in such a likable way. Or maybe she's not written that way. That's just how I'm experiencing her. But her character is very likable in a way that makes it kind of hard to judge her, even when she's doing things. And I'm like, why are you doing this? I also have it in mind that at least at the very beginning of the book, at the point where I'm at, she's still a really, really young adult. She starts out at 19 and she's just a little bit older than that now. So at least for me, I don't really see the point in judging someone that young when they're making bad decisions in literature and in real life. So it's just kind of fun to see how she's handling things. So yeah, those are my thoughts so far. I'm looking forward to seeing how things unfold for her. It's a fun read. It's a fun book. I'm having a good time. On another note, I am also reading 100 Great Essays by Robert Diani. And this was a very hard book for me to find. I actually only got a used copy, which I don't mind. I got this for like $6 off of Thrift Books. And I got so lucky because I specifically wanted the third edition of the book. And I didn't realize how rare that was, how difficult that would be to find. But I've been reading it for almost about 6 months now since I got it. And I really decided to get it because there were four essays from it that I had read individually, like in the places where they've been published, like in random PDFs online. And one of the essays is Learning to Read and Write by Frederick Douglass. And it also has a letter from Birmingham jail by Martin Luther King. I hope I'm remembering that correctly. But most importantly, it contains Joan Didion's essay on self-respect that I love, and I love to go back and reread because she does such a fantastic job of not just talking about self-respect, what it means. She shares a very clear, very deep understanding of it, but also what it is not and how it impacts the way we relate to each other or how we relate to the people in our lives. So I wanted to read a paragraph to you. All right. Okay. To have that sense of one's intrinsic worth, which constitutes self-respect, is potentially to have everything. The ability to discriminate, to love, and to remain indifferent. To lack it is to be locked within oneself, paradoxically incapable of either love or indifference. If we do not respect ourselves, we are on one hand forced to despise those who have so few resources as to consort with us. On the other hand, we are peculiarly enthralled to everyone we see. We are determined to live out their false notions of us. We flatter ourselves by thinking this compulsion to please others is an attractive trait. It's a gist for imaginative empathy and evidence of our willingness to give. At the mercy of those we cannot but hold in contempt, we play roles that are doomed to failure before they even begun. Each defeat generating fresh despair at the urgency of divining and meeting the next demand made upon us. This is the phenomenon called the alienation from self. In its advanced stages, we no longer answer the telephone because someone might want something. That we could say no without drowning in self-reproach is an idea alien to this game. Every encounter demands too much. It tears the nerves, it drains the will, and the specter of something as small as an unanswered letter arouses such disproportionate guilt that answering it becomes out of the question. To assign unanswered letters their proper weight, to free us from the expectations of others, to give us back to ourselves, there lies the singular power of self-respect. Without it, one eventually discovers the final turn of the screw. One runs away to find oneself and finds no one at home. Honestly, the first time I read her words, they didn't sink in, like they were jarring for me. I was like, whoa, it felt like someone was reading me for filth the first time I read it, but it takes a really long time before her words really, really sink in on what it means to have self-respect, or what it means to lack self-respect and not know you lack self-respect. Because as someone who is unlearning people-pleasing tendencies, I see it so well in how like wanting to be everything to everybody means denying yourself to the point where it's just easier to hide away sometimes instead of being brave enough to say no or to really give your thoughts or your opinion on the matter. So the first time I read it, I did find it funny. Not like haha funny, but just funny in a way that I don't think that's something that I would have clocked as lacking in self-respect, or as, that me prioritizing everyone else's feelings and thoughts at the expense of my own, to the point where I just find it easier to not engage instead of standing up for myself. That is not something, like, I didn't make that connection. Like, I knew it was maybe an issue on its own, but that wasn't something that I linked to not having self-respect, because I had considered myself to be someone who was respectful of themselves. But you live and you learn. So that's something else that I was reading today, and I thought it would be nice to share. And I've shared. So, yeah. For better or worse, I have made my way to Brooklyn, and now I'm just walking to Liz's Book Bar. What is so funny is I used to live in Brooklyn, and now this place is entirely, it's almost unrecognizable to me. I know nowhere. And that, my friends, I believe is gentrification. Yay! I'm making really good progress on Margot's Got Money Troubles, and that was such a chill spot. I'm really glad I made it all the way here. I have one more pickup to do at Barnes & Noble, so I'm going to go to the one that is a walking distance from where I am, which is also a good way to get some steps in. And then after that, I'm gonna head home. I'm gonna do my pickup and I'm gonna head home. What a good day. Thank you so much. Okay, it is day 4. Did I finish Margot's Got Money Trouble? No, I did not. Did I read 3 other books between then and now? Yes, I did. A friend of mine who convinced me to buy a Lila Sage series started reading the series and told me how good it was. And I just was like, you know what, let me take a peek at these since we bought them at the same time. And it went by so fast. Before I knew what happened, I was reading the second book. So yes, that is exactly what happened. And then after that, I'm running on a combined 10 hours of sleep, by the way, because I haven't slept. But then after reading those 2, I picked up This Could Be Us by Kennedy Ryan, which is also on my reading list for the month of September. But I got sucked into that one too, which I kind of knew was going to happen. So it's not all lost. I know the purpose of this vlog was to read Margot's Got Money Trouble, but I have 3 chapters and I will be done with Margot's Got Money Trouble. By the way, this is not an indictment on Margot's Got Money Trouble. I didn't stop reading it because it stopped being interesting or the other books were more interesting. My brain just, does the things that it does sometimes. So even though it's not a bad thing, I just wanted to put that out there. So it doesn't seem like Margot's Got Money Trouble started to suck, and that's why I kind of lost interest. know what happened. But yeah, that is where we are at today. I'm going to do a little book haul, some of the things that I picked up on my trip to Barnes and Noble, and a couple of things that I had delivered, some new stuff that I got, and then I'm going to finish Margot's Got Money Trouble. 3 chapters, I will be done by the end of tonight. An unexpected purchase that I picked up from the store was a TV tie-in for the 4th Bridgerton book, Romance of Mr. Bridgerton. I like to get those when they're released to me. The actual reason why I went there was to get children's books. I have a friend, not really a friend. She's one of the students that I used to teach in Sunday school many, many moons ago. And her birthday is coming up and she's 13. They're reading a couple of years ago. So I asked her what she wanted and she said she just wanted some books. She didn't ask for specifics. She just said anything that I get her would be fine. So I got her these 2 books. This is The Swifts. It is a really interesting children's book. I read it a year and a half ago, I think, when it first came out. It is a Lemony Snicket meets Knives Out type of book. It's adventurous. It's a bunch of kids solving mysteries. And although it's written for children, it's not dumbed down. The prose of it is really clever and doesn't shy away from being dark, although it's not too dark. It's not like crazy dark for a child. It's very age appropriate, but it's not so avoidant in like trying to help the kids escape negative feelings. I don't like it when a children's book does that, especially for the age that it's written from. The children here, it's written in a very, very sharp way to get the children thinking. It's very exciting. It was a very, very delightful book. It's very well done. It's definitely something I would have enjoyed as a child and that I also enjoyed as an adult. So I got this for her, but I also got her a classic, Judy Blues, Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret. This is like I feel like every little girl between the age of like 12 and 15 would love or benefit from reading Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret. I love it. I loved it so much as a child. So it just seemed like a no-brainer when I saw it. And do you see how pretty this is? Yeah. So I got those 2. I really hope she likes them. I also got 2 books, My Brilliant Friend by Elena Ferrante. Everyone and their mother's mother has been talking about this book this year, and it ended up on the New York Times lists of like 100 books of the past decade or something that came out this year. Everyone is talking about how much they either really loved it or how much they really hated it. So I'm hoping I get to read it before the end of this year. If you've read it, let me know what you think in the comment section. I'm hoping I'm one of those people who really enjoyed it and that it lives up to the hype for me. I also got Betting on You by Lynn Painter. And I don't know what this is about exactly, but I love everything Lynn Painter puts out. So this is an automatic buy for me. It was actually a pre-order. As soon as I found out it was coming out, I had it pre-ordered. So on release day, it came here. And then I got 2 memoirs from Thrift Books. Thrift Books and Book Outlet are 2 of my favorite sources for finding books. If there are books that have been out for a while, or I don't mind the used copy, because I don't mind the used copy of books, especially memoirs. So I got Radiant Rebellion, which is a book on aging, practicing joy as you age, embracing life as you age, and living as unapologetically as you can at every age that you get to as you get older. So of course, this is a relevant read, especially in the world that we live in, where you almost have to fight tooth and nail. You have to be very intentional about fighting all the images just about aging, especially if you live in the body as a woman. All the thoughts and the ideas that are being fed to you about how your value declines the older you get. It is always important to feed yourself with positive messages that keeps you focused on enjoying the gift that is life and not be so focused on something as unforgiving as aging, but also something as temporary as aging. I personally, I'm not too scared of death because it is the one thing that is sure for me. I've kind of come to terms with that a lot. I'm more scared of the how. It could happen, but not the idea itself. So I try to make sure that I'm reading things that help me focus on the things that are actually important. Who you are while you're alive, not how you look, which is easier said than done, but progress is progress. Also from Thrift Books, I got Crying in H Mart, which is a book by Michelle Zona, who in her 20s, while she was trying to get her music career started and working as a waitress, finds out that her mother is ill. So she had to leave Philadelphia and go back home to help take care of her mother, who is not doing well. And I've heard excellent things about this memoir. I don't know what to expect beyond what I just told you, so I'm looking forward to finding out. Yeah, and that is a recap of what is new for me in books. We are going to get back to reading Margot's Got Money Troubles. I'm going to finish it and then we're going to wrap this up.
this whole time. Jinx's brow furrowed. What? I knew it was hilarious, but I was still concerned. Mark is short. So this is Bodhi, I said, bouncing Bodhi on my hip. He was 7 months old, had 2 bottom teeth, and drooled constantly.
I finished it. I did. And oh my goodness, wow. That was a really good book. It is always a good surprise when a book that was hyped, especially by the book industry and by reviewers and the, important voices. It is always a good feeling when those books actually live up to the hype, because it doesn't always happen. So there's that. But I also personally really love a good coming of age story. It's why I think no matter how old I get, I'm always going to find myself gravitating towards the young adult section from time to time, because there's something about watching a person grow, all the choices that they make as they learn about themselves and learn to discover themselves. But honestly, Margot's Got Money Trouble isn't even really that. It goes a step above being a coming of age story, because Margot is not just going through self-discovery. There's a lot of self-creation in how she approaches the world and deals with the consequences of the actions that she's taken. She's 19, she has a baby, she doesn't have a partner, she has almost no support, at least at the beginning of the book, and she's navigating it as well as she can, her career, her finances, the choices that she makes so that she'll be able to take care of herself and this child that she now has, who she loves. I love her father in the book. Jinx, you will always have a supporter in me. And I love Thorpe, the author's written style. There's this third person overarching voice that guides you through the story, and we go back and forth between that voice and Margot's voice in first person, and the switch between that third person and Margot's first person account is so seamless and so well done. I can't imagine that is something that everyone can do really easily. So yeah, such a bold book with such a daring character. I love her character so much. I love the intention with which she chooses to live her life and to, actively make her choices or live with the consequences of the choices that she's made. It was a great reading experience. And while I have you here, I might as well tell you about This Could Be Us, which is, like you saw, one of the books that I read while I was supposed to be reading Margot's Money Trouble. But I also recommend this book. I give it all the stars. I love it so much. So Lidat, the main female character, I want her to stand behind me so that I can fight for her, especially fight her ex-husband on her behalf. He catch these hands. Yes, I'm having a great summer reading wise. These were some really, really good picks. The next book on my list is The Wedding People, and then I have one more book on my list for September, and then I'll start thinking of books that I want to read in spooky season. You're probably watching this in October already, so yeah, happy reading. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I hope you enjoyed this video. I enjoyed making it. I've never done a reading vlog before. Somehow I feel like that's not entirely true. Maybe I've done one and I've just forgotten, but yes, I haven't done a reading vlog recently, but I'm glad I got to do this one. I might even try it again. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Have you read any of these books? Are you reading any of these books? Are you going to read any of these books? Let me know. Let's get to chatting. Thank you so much. Don't forget to do all the things like comment, subscribe, share. Yeah, I'll see you in my next video.